Information about a deadly small plane crash at the Cuyahoga County Airport in Willoughby Hills. The tragedy is sending shockwaves throughout the entire community. I'm Leon Bibb. 4 people died, and we have learned all of the victims appear to be undergraduate students from Case Western Reserve University. And the university is about to hold a news conference on this development. We'll have more on who the victims are in just a moment. But there's new information still constantly coming in on this obviously developing story. Let's get right to anchor Lee Jordan. She's reporting live from Cuyahoga County Airport in Willoughby Hills. Lee, what can you give us on the latest?
Well, Leon, investigators are here on the scene. The FAA and a representative from the NTSB just arrived a short time ago and spoke to us. You'll hear from her in just a moment. But last night at 10 o'clock, Cessna crashed just on the northeast corner of the airport after taking off of runway 6 when something went wrong. We're told that 20-year-old William Felton, the pilot of this Cessna, which was a rented plane, had asked for permission to return to the airport because he was experiencing problems. And it was just moments later that the crash occurred. Pam Sullivan is here from the NTSB, and here is what she told us a short time ago. I'm sorry, we'll try to get that sound for you shortly. So, Leon, Pam Sullivan told us that the investigation is going to take a couple of days. She is actually over there on the wreckage right now working on this, looking for clues as to what might have happened in this awful crash that killed 4 young people.
Many thanks, Lee Jordan. We continue to follow the story, and we'll try and get that interview in just a moment. But right now, about 12 hours after the crash, we learned that the 4 victims killed on board were all young men, all students at Case Western Reserve University here in Cleveland. News Channel 5's Paul Kiska joins us now from Case Western Reserve University. Paul, what are you learning about the case?
There's certainly shock and sadness here on the Case campus for those who really knew these 4 victims, these 4 young men, whether that's staff, co-workers, or fellow classmates. But certainly heavy hearts here this morning at Case Western Reserve University. We do have pictures of 3 of the 4 young men identified as the pilot. 20-year-old William Felton from Saginaw, Michigan. 20-year-old Lucas Marcelli from Massillon. 18-year-old Abraham Pishavar from Rockville, Maryland. And 18-year-old John Hill from St. Simons, Georgia. Now, the president of the university, Barbara Snyder, put out a statement to campus this morning saying, in part, "I write with profound sadness to inform you that we believe the 4 individuals killed in last night's local plane crash were undergraduates at our university." And then she went on to say, "We have notified the parents of the young people involved, and representatives from University Counseling Services are working closely with their roommates and close friends. The counseling office will have walk-in hours all day today for those who wish to speak with someone about this tragedy." And I did find out that there's going to be now a 1 o'clock news conference here with Case officials at 1 o'clock to talk more about the situation and what they're doing to help their friends and classmates. We found out too that the pilot, 20-year-old William Felton, worked at a nearby restaurant. You could walk to it here from the Case campus. And when my photographer Gary Abrahamson and I went in there this morning, we thought they knew what had happened. They didn't. They were in complete shock. The manager, the owner of the place, and some co-workers described William Felton as a young man who was very happy all the time, always smiling. They said of 2 things that kept coming up. They said he was very smart and very intelligent, very involved with chemistry, and that he talked a lot about his joy and passion for flying. So again, a 1 o'clock news conference, and you'll hear more of that interview from his co-workers at the restaurant coming up in later editions of News Channel 5. Live from Case at noon today, I'm Paul Kiska. Back to you.
Thank you, Paul, for your report. It all began around 10 o'clock last night when a Cessna 172 was trying to take off from the runway 6 at the airport, the Cuyahoga County Airport. It crashed at Bishop Road and Curtis Wright Parkway at the northeast corner of the Cuyahoga County Airport. Now, people live near this airport, and many people heard the engine sputtering before the crash. Some witnesses tried to help, but it was a horrifying scene.
My mom, my brothers, all of us are running towards the airplane trying to help, but then the flames got even worse. I just thank God that it didn't land on our house. I'm sorry for the lives that were lost, but this is like crazy.
I probably got about halfway through, boom, the fuel tank went. I got up really as close as I could. It was just too hot, too involved. There was nothing I could do. Every time.
Stay with the News Channel 5 for continuing coverage of the deadly small airplane crash in Willoughby Hills, right there at the Cuyahoga County Airport. We'll have instant updates on NewsNet5.com. More reports, of course, live on 5 and on News Channel 5 at 6 o'clock. Stay with us. We continue to follow this developing story here in Cleveland area.